Alright, guys, I'm going to show you a little something. Oh, anywho, let me introduce, this is Frank, because he's made up of different bike parts, so Frank and Bike. So his name is Frank, and this one, I guess, is Steve. I don't know why. Steve. Steve is a good name, right? Okay, anywho, let's look at this. Now, this is kind of working, okay? But look, I rode around, and this is sagging. So I had this all the way up. Now, I did it on the other one, but... So what I try to do is with anything is you want to keep it simple. Simple is best. And if you don't have to modify anything, don't do it. Because when you start modifying things, it opens up room for error, okay? If you have to modify it. Now, if you absolutely do have to modify it, then do that, okay? But start out simple. Don't modify it unless you absolutely have to. But this one I do have to, okay? I found out. Now, I could have this up here, but I don't know what it is about these things. I don't like them. They don't like to stay up here, okay? My first build had the same issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this back down here because it can't go any further than down here. I'm going to back this up this way, about here, I guess, and take 3 or 4 links off. Because originally I didn't have to cut the chain. So I said, well, if I don't have to cut the chain, let's not, right? That's what I mean about modifying because you never know what could happen. I could accidentally take off too many links. So if you don't have to take off any links, you ain't going to encounter that problem, right? But anywho, it's not going to work, right? Because this keeps backing off on me. Another one did the same thing. So I'm just going to, put it back down here and move this back. And later on, I might eventually get a different type of system on that. But for right now, I'm going to make it work. But word of the wise, yeah, it didn't work out the way without modifying it. So now I know I have to modify it. And that's okay. So I'm glad I did it that way because it's, it probably would have been fine if I measured it right the first time and clipped the chain. However, this was a good way for me to start. And like I said, if you don't have to modify anything, don't. Because once you do, it leaves room for other error and other stuff to go wrong. Or you're going to have to modify a second thing to make the first modification work. Just a word of wise.